Many people would ask, what was the worst train wreck in V-Line's history? Well, on June 5, 2007, the unthinkable would happen. V-Line train number 8042 was making its regular passenger service from Swan Hill to Southern Cross. The train consisted of one locomotive, which was N-Class N460. The train had a three-carriage set designated as N7. The lead coach was a first-class coach, the middle coach was an economy-class buffet coach, and the rear coach was a second-class economy coach. The train had a crew of 3 and a total of 36 passengers were on board the train. The train's next stop was Kerang Station. However, it would never reach Kerang Station. Meanwhile, up ahead at a level crossing Y2943, a truck driver named Christian School was driving his truck loaded with timber and pipes and was making its long journey from Melbourne to Sydney. The truck in question was a Kenworth K104B prime mover with a refrigerated side curtain trailer. Now this truck isn't small, it weighs an impressive 40 tonnes, so you wouldn't want to get hit by this thing. The train and truck were both approaching the crossing at a speed of 100 km per hour. Then the gates go down, but Christian School does not stop nor slow down. Then at 140, the truck slams into train 8042. The locomotive and the first coach escape impact, but the second and third coach were not so lucky. The middle coach had most of its side ripped off, which is where most of the casualties occurred, while the last coach suffered damage to one of its ends. The cab of the truck was completely destroyed, while the trailer was bent into what looks like a banana-shaped object. In total, 11 people died, and 23 were injured. School, however, was lucky and escaped very serious injury, only suffering minor head and shoulder injuries. One survivor recalled, "A lady sitting across from me saw the truck and closed her eyes. You just wonder how anybody got out." Almost immediately, rescuers arrived. They described it as a horrific scene when they arrived. All the area was being cleaned up, with the coaches being removed for examination. The track and any damaged infrastructure was repaired, and the locomotive was put back into service, still operating today. After the crash, much was to follow. Truck driver's School was charged with 1 count of culpable driving. Later he was committed for trial on 11 charges of causing death by culpable driving, and 8 charges of causing injury by negligent driving, but was not found guilty in the end. To this day, the 2007 Kerang train accident remains the worst wreck in V-Line's history, and the worst since the 1977 Granville train disaster. However, due to the severity of the accident, all can agree it could have been much worse, but it's sad that the driver didn't stop, because earlier in 2020 the same thing would happen under very similar circumstances. I guess history will be repeating itself. It's been 13 years since this accident, and people still try to drive around the gates at railway crossings, and people still get killed by them. But with the right education, understanding, not to mention learning how to drive and be patient, maybe we might see these accidents decreasing over the years. But I just don't think we're there yet. Be safe when you're driving, and don't drive around the gates at railroad crossings. I don't want to record a death on tape.